already know my slogan, baby boy, baby girl, to you. Help me, help you, keep bringing you the news. You already know how we rocking, right? Let me stop saying that we already know how we rocking, like I'm some OVO. Be have to catch myself sometime, but right now, it's late night too, and I'm up chilling out, and this is 1:43 in the morning. But I was checking something out about Pooh Shiesty, right? And I want y'all to bear with me. Check out this, tap into it. This is by Rap Threat. I'm not sure, but it's under Rap Threat on YouTube, and it says Pooh Shiesty house just got raided. They found this. But tap in real quick with me on this. Check this out. And then I'm going to give y'all my spill and let y'all know how I feel about it. Y'all know how we do. Let's get to it.
Arrested. He's accused of shooting a security guard at a South Florida gentleman's club and will remain behind bars. A judge denied bond for 21-year-old Lontrell Williams.
Real talk, when you're moving like that in the streets, you're not just putting yourself at risk. You're endangering innocent people trying to make a living. The federal government built their case around multiple incidents, including armed robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, and conspiracy charges. They painted a picture of Pooh Shiesty as someone who used violence as his first option, not his last resort. The prosecution argued that he was a danger to the community and needed to be locked up for the full 20 years they originally sought. His defense team worked hard to get that sentence reduced, arguing that he was young, had potential as an artist, and could be rehabilitated. They got it down to 8 years, which was still a significant sentence, but much better than the 2 decades he was facing. When Pooh Shiesty came home, he had everything going for him. His first day out song was doing numbers. He was getting plaques, driving foreign cars, and even rumored to be with India Love. He had the opportunity to build a legitimate empire, but somehow he still managed to mess it up. The first day out track was more than just a song. It was a statement. He was telling the world he was back, he was focused, and he was ready to take over the rap game. The song got millions of views, and for a minute, it looked like he was going to be one of those success stories, the guy who learned from his mistakes and used his second chance to build something real. But behind the scenes, the street's been talking about how he was moving. People who knew him said he never really left that street mentality behind. He was still hanging with the same people, still talking that same talk, and still moving like he was invincible. The problem with federal parole is that they're watching everything. Your social media posts, your music videos, who you're hanging with, where you're going, everything is under a microscope. When you're rapping about having automatic weapons while you're on supervised release, that's not just artistic expression, that's evidence. The real tea that got everybody shook was how Ben the Don first broke the news on his stream. During a live broadcast, Ben got a phone call about the raid. You could hear the shock in his voice when he found out they took everything and cleaned them up. Ben tried to keep it low-key at first, but the streets was already talking. In the clip that went viral, you can hear Ben telling his caller, "You remember that bet when Buddy had this right here and I told you he's going to jail? He's going back."
Remember that bet when Buddy had this right here? And I told you, like, he going to jail?
Yeah.
He's going back.
The way he said it showed this wasn't completely unexpected. People who knew Pooh Shiesty's situation saw this coming. But here's where it gets interesting. Ben later tried to say on Twitter that the call wasn't about Pooh Shiesty. He tweeted, "I understand y'all gotta get y'all money, but that's cap as F. Shy ain't have a MF thing to do with that call." Whether he was trying to deflect or protect his homie, we don't know. But the facts came out anyway. The raid itself was probably planned for weeks or even months. Federal agents don't just show up randomly. They build cases, gather evidence, and strike when they have everything they need. Based on what we know, they went to his spot, found whatever they were looking for, and took him into custody immediately. Later, all the blogs started posting about Pooh Shiesty being back in custody. DJ Academics confirmed it with the federal prison records, showing Pooh Shiesty's real name, Lontrell Donnell Williams Jr., his register number, and his new release date, April 11th, 2026. That date is significant because that was his original release date before he got out early on parole. Now, this ain't just about one violation. This is about a pattern of behavior that shows Pooh Shiesty never really took his second chance seriously. The street's been talking about how he was moving since he came home, and it wasn't looking good.
Yeah,
For y'all who might not understand federal parole.
Like, I want y'all to tap into it too. I want y'all to look at it with the cat that got Rap Threat or whatever, you know. I feel as though he had he made a lot of sense. He actually had something that was interesting. That's why I would love for you guys on your time to pull that up on YouTube and listen to the whole thing. Only thing I didn't like about him, he kind of was giving off like he's happy he locked up, he deserved to be locked up. I don't wish that on nobody, but rapists, people that put their hands on their kids and, you know, do things to babies and, you know the one shit that we just can't come back for if you get locked up for taking tree jumping and stuff like that. Mess with little kids and stuff. But anyway, that's here or there. But what I want y'all to know is that you're taking this from somebody that's been in the feds and did federal time and been in state prison, right? And I ain't here to glorify that at all. But everybody have their own experience when they go to prison. The rules are the same, gangs and whatever goes on in it, but everybody have their own experience. But what I want you young brothers to know, like when y'all have a lot of money, I know and understand it's very hard for y'all to register like constructive criticism or good information. Because I was young, you know, I get it, I know. And I try to explain that to a lot of guys that's my age, that's older than a lot of these younger brothers. It's like, you can't bash them. You got to be able to identify with them, the young youth that's in position where they feel they don't need you to feed them or clothe them or pay their rent, shelter them, anything like that. Because they already know how to do that. They provide for themselves. They really don't need you at all for financial. They just are not accepting the wisdom that we have to give, you know. And in order to give that, you have to lead by example. What I mean, lead by example by your movement, things you're doing. That don't work with that. When you're dealing with the type of young youth, this don't work. Actions, you know. But what I want y'all to know that, listen, the feds, man, you can't be, when the feds want to get you, right, and they get you, but they don't get to choke you, and you somewhere maybe the bagel to get a little skid bit up out of them and roll out, you can't be throwing it up in their face. Because they're going to come and grab you. And I think that's a little bro situation. I think far as he came out just on some more, I think he think it was still the state. I think his bid wasn't as, you know, rough because, you know, he had money, so fortunately he made canteen and everything like that. But I don't think he understood the capacity of doing fair time. Like, when you get out, you still being watched. Like I said, you definitely still being watched. But on top of that, what I want y'all to understand is that it could be a lot of other things too. Because I look at Big 30, I look at the Gucci Man situation with the 1017. There's a lot in the air with that. And, you know, and like, because I look at Big 30, I don't know him, like, but I can say to myself, like, he's been out there making music, making money. He do off his little Hawaiian wave too, you know, he do his thing, but he know how to stay out there. And like, I will hope that somewhere down the line they used to chop it up, because I don't know what he got grabbed up for. There's a lot of things up in the air, and I'm not going to put it out there, but I'm just saying whatever the case may be, it was enough for them to put them back inside the system. And the thing about the feds, when you mess up on probation, you can start it all over. Your whole bed. Like if they give you 5 years probation, you can do 4 years, 362 days. And them 3 days that you had left to do, and you violate, you don't just do them 3 days like you in state. You go back and they can rewind that thing to day one. So it's totally different. And when you're dealing with the federal system, like the judge is the one that violates you. So when you get grabbed, you ain't coming out. Because I mean, the judge said, I don't want you to sit. It's not like you, if it's down parole state, you get your PO mad at you. They trying to lock you up and all that. But no, it's not that. But that's, like I said, I don't want to make no assumptions, but I just want a lot of you younger brothers that's out there doing y'all ones and twos to know that, like, don't take life for granted, man. And everybody don't need to have a dollar for you guys to listen to them. And I know a lot of y'all do like to go off of actions, but sometimes everybody don't have the body language like that. Everybody's not gifted enough to, you know, move a certain type of way, be disciplined, carry themselves productive, you know, no matter where they at in the world, you know. People, it's not a lot of us men out here that walk with our shoulders up like that, you know. So I'll say that to say this, young brother, that it's okay to listen to the guy that may look like Taxi Cab Jamil, you know, because he's been around. So he got some information. And we know the stuff that we need to listen to and we don't need to listen to. And when I say that is this, like, have patience sometimes. A lot of those young brothers out there, y'all be 25, 27 years old, y'all don't even have no ID. And don't care if y'all ain't got no ID. And it's just so many things of life that you gotta learn. And I'm just saying, if y'all got somebody in y'all corner to bless y'all and give y'all them Jews, and take that and run with it, man. Because I see a lot of young brothers sitting in jail, right, for some of the craziest crimes, right? And they have never worthy numbers. And even the ones that's going to do a 20-piece with nuggets, like, that's a big chunk out of your life. I don't care if you're 18. 20 years is a long time out of your life. And I see a lot of these guys that's, before they even get themselves jammed up, they carry this facade like they don't care about going to jail. You should care. It ain't cool. Y'all, it's like kind of like a badge of honor. It's not. It's not fly about that. The stories you hear about people saying they don't do, your man might not do nothing for you, man. When you your girl, your family might do it. That is real, man. And it's lonely in there. I mean, 23 and 1 is serious, man. For real. And I ain't gonna even beat y'all down too much about that, because I get flashbacks with my therapy, real talk, is YouTube. You guys, y'all, this platform. Sometimes when I watch this, and I watch the jail stuff, like I'll go in there and put up documentaries for the roughest federal jails, roughest state jails, and watch how it is, like the documentaries, just to remind myself where I could be if I want to go out there and just crash out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I'm perfect. But you just going on a crash course. I ain't doing that at all. And I don't want y'all to do that. And I'm telling y'all this because guess what? I respect the streets. I'm not knocking them. But it took me a lot the hard way. And I'm just trying to let y'all know that you ain't got to be my age, 45, 46, 47 years old, trying to figure it out, get it together, build a relationship with your kids, and try to build bonds with your family members and stuff like that. And then your friends that you had, even just building that separation, because the older you get, you start separating from the older friends that's still playing and moving around, doing what they do, because you don't want to be put up by anybody else's stuff. So it's a lot. But imposed to have to go through that. If y'all got brothers or somebody that's gonna pull y'all up, listen to it, man. So when that time comes and you have to use them tools, you have them tools in your book bag. When I say tools in your book bag, that's knowledge, that's information. You know what I'm saying? When that's supposed to be, I'm showing you how to dress, and I'm telling you when you go to a restaurant, how you sit down and how you carry yourself, how you talk. Them are tools. So when you do walk in these places, this is how to move, this is how to dress, this, you know what I mean? To make it easy on yourself. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. It's late night. I'm up with y'all too, 1:34, 2 o'clock in the morning working. And like I said, it was just on my mind that it's just sad that, Pooh Shiesty just came home and he just had everything lined up for him, and just that quick, I took him right back away from him. And to be honest with y'all, I'm here to tell y'all first, I don't think he'll never be the same when he come home this time. I'm trying to tell you, he's not going to be the same. But I love y'all. Tapping with your boy. Keep me going. Let's go. Splash.